If we saw a golf swing and they made a swing and they got their hip just to there, we'd all say that's too much slide, right? But if I took that same golfer who had that amount of slide and I simply added the rotation piece and then added the extension piece, they would look like just about every good PGA Tour player you've ever seen. Here's a slide with turn, here's a slide with turn and extension, right? So that is wildly misunderstood. And the reason a lot of this happens is because a lot of golfers, especially better players, have enough of the shift, okay? A lot of good players have enough shift, but they don't have enough turn. And so they say, hey, I have too much slide. No, you don't have too much slide. You don't have enough turn to go with the slide. Hey guys, Eric here at the Don Law Golf Academy at the beautiful Osprey Point Golf Club in Boca Raton, Florida. This is our winter home. You'll see here in the videos in this month and moving beyond instead of back in Bethlehem where it's a lot colder than it is down here. And in today's video, we're going to talk about what I think is probably the most misunderstood thing in the golf swing and what you can do in your swing to really help improve your ball striking. Now, before we dive into that, a couple quick things. One, I am going to be available for in-person golf lessons here in Boca. If you guys are around or want to come down during the winter months, I would love to work with you. We'll put a link in the description. It'll be, say, Acuity Scheduling in there. Would love to work with you. If you can't make it in person, would still love to work with you through CogornoGolf.com. We'll also link that down below. That's where you can send me in your swings from anywhere in the world, regardless of where you're at with your game, and I can help take your game to the next level, answer your questions, put together a practice plan for the winter, whatever you want. We have solutions for you. Get access to all the master classes, our Facebook community, everything you need to improve your game at CogornoGolf.com. Would love to see you there. So today's video, what I think is perhaps the most misunderstood thing in the golf swing, and what that is hip slide, or how far forward your hip should move in the golf swing. Now let me ask you this. If I asked you, hey, an average great ball striker, how many inches forward towards the target would you say their hips move in the downswing? If you had to guess what that number is, and maybe write that down or think about that number, what would that be? Give you a second or two, maybe an inch, maybe 3 feet. The answer, right, as measured, is about 6 to 8 inches. 6 to 8 inches. So that's a pretty big amount of movement. And I think a lot of you guys watching, when I ask that, probably don't think 6 to 8 inches, or maybe think about it a little differently. I think we perceive good golf swings as like there should be no hip slide or very little lateral movement. It's all rotation, when in fact, that's not the case. If you measure where your belt buckle goes or look at a good golfer, and after you're done watching this, maybe not while you're watching, pull up YouTube and pull up your favorite golfer and look at where their belt buckle starts and look at where it finishes and how far forward that goes. And they're moving a lot forward during their downswing follow through. In fact, there's a straight one-to-one correlation with that, in that the better the golfer, the more they move their hips forward. The better the golfer, the more they move their hips forward. Now, of course, some of you won't believe me, so let's talk through what I mean by that. Now, I put a little stick here in the ground to start with to kind of represent what 6 to 8 inches is, or a visual. So I put this about 2, if I took my normal stance, about 2, I've got a 7-iron, about 2 7-irons from the middle of my left foot forwards where the stick is. And I want you to try this at home as we're doing this. Or from my leg here, it's about 2, if I put my hand on the side, there's one hand, it's about 2 hands, maybe just over 2 hands. So maybe put a chair or a wall or object, wherever you're watching this, and put it about that far away from you. Now, as I stand here, I should get my belt buckle to that object by the time I finish my swing. That's pretty far forward, right? So when I make my normal swing motion here, if I just turn, how much closer to that object am I getting? Everyone together should be saying, Eric, you're not getting any closer to that object, right? So am I just turning during my downswing? No, clearly I'm not doing just turning, right? Now, remember, keyword, write this one down next to the answer you put for the inches forward. I want to get my belt buckle to that stick. Did I say I want to get my left hip to the stick? And don't think I did. I'll rewind it and double check, but I think I said belt buckle to the stick. Now for me to get my belt buckle to the stick, does that mean I get my hips forward by just getting my left hip forward? No, right? I don't want just the forward. Well, how do I get my belt buckle there? Well, what if I do the just forward part, and then I also turn, and I also push up and forward? Okay, wait a minute, we're getting somewhere. So that's a turn, that's a slide, right? A forward motion, a shift, a turn, and an extension. That's a shift, a turn, and an extension. Now, does that work like that in the swing, where I'm in that little second I'm swinging going, okay, shift, turn, extend? No, right? You're doing them all at the same time. You're blending those movements together to get to here. If we saw a golf swing and they made a swing and they got their hip just to there, we'd all say that's too much slide, right? But if I took that same golfer who had that amount of slide and I simply added the rotation piece and then added the extension piece, they would look like just about every good PGA Tour player you've ever seen. Here's a slide with turn, here's a slide with turn and extension, right? So that is wildly misunderstood. And the reason a lot of this happens is because a lot of golfers, especially better players, have enough of the shift, okay? A lot of good players have enough shift, but they don't have enough turn. And so they say, hey, I have too much slide. No, you don't have too much slide. You don't have enough turn to go with the slide. So you, in fact, don't need to take slide away so much as you need to add the turn component. If you've got this like pie chart of swing elements, and I said you're supposed to slide some, you're supposed to turn some, and you're supposed to extend some. Let's just say cut it three little pies there, right? 33%, 33%, 33%. So a perfect swing has a third of each one of those. I'm completely making that up. Maybe it's not that, but let's just say for the sake of example, a third of each one. Now a player comes up, they've got the third of slide, but they don't have the other two components. Well, no, their slide's good. They have the third of that. They're missing the two other chunks of the pie. They need to add 33% rotation and 33% extension. Okay, are you with me on this? So as this video is going, we'll have showed you some different swings where you can see this. When you get into the follow through, the stick is here, two hands outside, two club heads outside your left foot. I want to get my belt buckle there. Now, if you're making swings and you put this stick in or put your golf bag or chair and you're making swings and you're way behind this, okay? And you're way behind this, and you don't hit it good, or you don't have ball control like you want, or distance or compression, you should be pushing your hips forward to this. Now, if you're missing that and turning and you're hitting the ball exactly how you want, then I wouldn't do much with this. That's okay, you've matched the pieces together. But the greater amount of us who aren't compressing the ball, aren't hitting ball first, ground second, aren't able to curve the ball left on command, which is at least 9 out of 10 from my experience, need more of this, more of this. So this is how I would start. I'd put this here, I'd with no ball, make some swings and say, can I just, even without a backswing, step one, normal setup, now get my belt buckle forward to there. So I feel like my hips are pushed up and forward, my belt buckle is up and forward this way. So I've shifted, I've turned, right, and I've extended. Just from here. Can I get all the way forward? I'm like, holy crap, Eric, I feel way forward. That's good. You're probably too far back, right? Then once I can do that, I'm gonna go chip shot all the way forward. Chip shot all the way forward. I'm shifting weight forward. I'm pushing my belt buckle up and forward. When I can do that, I'm gonna go half swing, right? Maybe about this high. You get the gist of this, right? I'm adding swing length as I go. And the main purpose in terms of net outcome, why do I push my hips forward? Why do I push my weight forward? The more my hips are forward, the more my low point's forward. Ball first, ground second, that's shaft lean, solid contact. If I took myself here with normal handle and I push my hips forward, shaft lean, compression, right? The more I push my hips forward, the more I can swing the club from the inside, draw. The more I do the raising of the belt line and the extending, that shallows out the angle of attack. So how does that sound, right? Low point in front of the ball, swing direction to the right, shallow angle of attack. Those would be three attributes that great ball strikers have. So this is where I'd start. hips forward. Very misunderstood. Some people are gonna make comments here that this is incorrect, even though we just showed like a bazillion swings of people doing it. Hips work forward. I'd put the swing in and hit balls like that. If you guys have any questions about hip slide, golf, life, etc., leave a comment down below. Hey guys, thanks for watching today's video. If you like the video, do us a favor, click that like button down below, click the notification bell, subscribe, comment. The more action we get in the videos, the more YouTube likes that. Really helps us out, spread our videos to be able to help more golfers. We really appreciate that. If you did like this style video, we'll include a screen or a card here on the screen for another YouTube style video on this topic. If you want to check out CogornoGolf.com, you'll see that logo. You can click that. That'll take you right there. We'd love to see you there.